You can build your own dresser, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to build this one right here. So sit back and relax and I'll show you how I did it. Today's project was built in Alaska with the help of my two brother-in-laws. So if there's any stupid parts in this video that you don't like, you can blame them. We'll start this little dresser with the 4 legs. We need to cut two 2x4s to 32 3/4 inches. Let's go ahead and cut these two pieces in half using our table saw. And that'll give us the 4 legs for the dresser. I bet you were starting to wonder how this thing was going to balance with only 2 legs. Next we're going to cut up a few 1x2s. We need 4 pieces that are 42 inches long. These pieces are going to be used as the bracing on the front and back of our dresser. We also need 4 cut at 14 inches, and these will be used on the 2 sides. Just going to leave that fart sound right there so you can see how immature these guys are. Well, I guess I am a little bit too. Anyways, we need to put 2 pocket holes on each side of all those 1x2s we just cut.
Oh, would you look at that? Must be nice to have fancy new tools, Justin. He's 3 years old. Michael, is this the process of unthawing frozen wood glue?
Yes, it is, Phil. So what happens when you leave your glue outside in Alaska in -17-degree weather? You have to thaw it out in hot water.
Oops. I must be a newbie.
Alright, let's start putting our dresser together.
It's so frozen.
To assemble this thing, let's start with the front and back. We'll take those two 42-inch 1x2s and attach them flush with the top and 3 inches up from the bottom.
That's what it's like to have new tools.
As you can see here, I'm attaching the 42-inch boards flush with the outside edge of the legs.
What are you doing over there, Michael? Wow.
As you can probably tell from the video, one side of these legs is shorter than the other, and we're attaching these 42-inch boards to that shorter side.
3 inches.
And if you didn't know, the front and back are exactly the same. Now let's make a few marks on the inside edges of our legs. We'll put these a ½ inch from the inside edge of the legs right next to those 1x2s. We're going to be attaching our 14-inch 1x2s right on these marks. The inside edge of those 1x2s is going to be flush with those marks, and this is going to allow our plywood to rest flush with the legs. And this really simplifies the design of the dresser because that way we can mount our drawer slides directly to that plywood. And to continue the tradition, I lost every single one of Justin's pencils that he brought to help me with this project.
It's so warm.
Okay, so now I'll just put these two sides together using those 14-inch 1x2s, just like I mentioned.
Don't judge. Too late, Josh. I gotta fix that one. Edit that out, Josh. There's a knot there. That's why it's doing that.
I can keep using that excuse, Josh. Gotta find a new one every now and then.
There is a knot there. I wouldn't lie to your face. probably don't need that. Let me see if I can. Shaking like Michael J. Fox, man.
Josh, your videos never show your mistakes. You make it look like you don't make mistakes.
It's because I don't make mistakes in the video, Justin.
Josh, you need more coffee. You're shaking like Michael J. Fox.
I know. What'd you put in my coffee?
You'll find out soon.
Hey, starting to look like something.
Now, let's cut 2 pieces of 1/2-inch plywood to 14 inches wide by 29.5 inches long.
You don't need hearing protection when you're already deaf, do you, Justin?
What?
Now, let's put 2 pocket holes on each of the 2 long sides of both of these.
It's so sharp, Justin.
Yeah, you do that right in there.
I did get to use it before you, didn't I?
Now let's go ahead and attach these 2 boards in between these 2 legs on the left and right sides.
I feel so famous with you filming me, Justin.
Let's get that up close and personal here.
Josh, you're listening to you.
Josh, you just hired me full time. I'll go around filming you.
That's a good idea. It doesn't fit.
Just finesse it a little bit, Josh.
Should fit, Justin. Oh, there we go.
Don't question my cutting abilities, Josh.
Oh,
It's no fit.
that's what I'm talking about.
Josh, that's what's called a factory
Grab a
cut.
hammer.
Laser precision couldn't get closer, Josh.
So perfect. It's like I planned it this way.
Ooh,
Oh, that's so
look at that clean finish.
I planned it or something. It must be nice to have new tools. Ow.
Let's cut another piece of 1/2-inch plywood. This one needs to be 15.5 inches wide and 29.5 inches long. Let's attach this one right in the middle of our dresser. The top of this board is going to be flush with the top of those 1x2s.
Push in.
Oh, that's so weird.
Different. Uh-oh.
Ah! It's fine.
It'll be hidden. Click restart, Josh. Click your
It's awesome.
Tell you what, Josh, not having cords is the most greatest thing ever.
Justin, I need one of these. Oh. Here, just get this one real quick. I'm gonna move my fingers though, because I don't want you to.
Now, let's go ahead and rip up our 1/2-inch plywood into 8.5-inch strips. We'll need to cut 12 pieces at 18 3/4 of an inch. Then, we'll also need 12 pieces at 15.5 inches. On all these pieces I just cut out, I'll use my table saw to cut a groove 1/2 inch from the bottom. These are going to be 1/4 inch deep and 1/4 inch wide. And don't forget to add your Alaskan dust collection system. Follow me for more great DIY tips. Next, let's cut up some 1/4 inch plywood. We need 6 pieces that are 19 1/4 inches long and 15 inches wide. Let's go ahead and make 6 drawers using all those pieces we just cut out. The shorter 15.5 inch boards should be attached on the left and right sides of the 18 3/4 inch pieces. Then our 1/4 inch plywood will slide in that groove at the bottom.
Like a knock glove.
I made a small mistake when I cut out the bottom of my drawers. Because of that, the back of my drawer isn't going to be flush with the edges. The measurement for the bottom of the drawer I gave you should be correct though. You might double check me to be sure. I've made a mistake or two in my time. In fact, Michael and Justin thought it was so funny that they thought I should make a video. That's over there on our silly Three Amigos channel if you want to check it out. Next, I'll evenly space 3 sets of drawer slides on both sides of the dresser. This is probably going to be the hardest part of this build, but what I did for mine is I mounted my drawer slides so that my drawers would have a 7/16 of an inch gap between them. I would recommend making marks where you know the drawers are going to sit. Then, you can mount the left and right drawer slides in between these marks to make sure they match perfectly. If you don't want to spend forever measuring where these drawer slides need to go, and you're also concerned whether or not the top, middle, and bottom drawers are going to be interchangeable, you can do what I did and put numbers on the back of these things. That way, if anybody ever removes them for some reason, they can put them back in the right spot. To make the drawer faces, I'll take a 1x10 and rip it down to 8.5 inches wide. Next, let's go ahead and cut 6 of these to 20 3/4 of an inch. Let's use the table saw to put a nice little 45-degree bevel on the front side of these boards. Next, I'll attach these to the front of the drawers using wood glue and a small nail gun for now. And this will allow the drawer face to stay in place until I can attach it using wood screws from the back. Then once again, once we get all those drawer faces attached to the front there, we can go ahead and attach them securely with some screws from the back. I'm just using pocket screws for this. Once we've secured all those, let's go ahead and take that 20-inch piece of edge-glued lumber and rip it down to 19 inches wide. Once we've done that, we'll go ahead and cut this piece down to 47.5 inches long. Then I'll go ahead and attach this guy to the dresser top using wood glue and finishing nails.
Justin, I'm gonna have to put music over your voice.
I'm happy to do that.
Wow, got that perfect on the first try.
All right, Justin.
I'm just 3/4.
Next, let's cut a piece of 1/4-inch plywood that's 29.5 inches long and 43 inches wide. This is going to be the back of our dresser. And before I attach this to the back, I'll go ahead and let Justin do a little bit of sanding. He's like scrubbing bubbles. He does the work so I don't have to. Nothing fancy going on right here. I'm just attaching this guy with wood glue and some small finishing nails. Now, we'll go ahead and paint this with a white satin oil-based paint. For some reason, Justin disappeared for this part. Now, as you can tell, I had to take all the drawers and the drawer slides out in order to do a good job painting. So let's go ahead and put those back in right now. Then, have someone else install your drawer slides. Today, I'm going to have my father-in-law do it because I don't feel like it. And now, we have a brand new, awesome little dresser. And this one's going to double as a changing table. It just makes all the difference in the world when you use decent drawer slides. There's just something special about building things yourself, and this thing is not made out of particle board. If you like particle board, I'm sorry, I also like Parmesan cheese. If you enjoyed this video, I bet you're going to like this one as well. I'll see you over there, and keep hitting that I believe button.
Subscribe.